Hi, my name's Steve and welcome to another episode of Real, the program that investigates Melbourne's diverse culture from the perspective of young people. In tonight's episode, we're getting real about city limits. And while the city may have its own limits, they're nothing in comparison to those faced by people living outside of the city. In our first segment tonight, we get a little insight into a life restricted by living, quite literally, outside of the city limits. You can be a part of the conversation tonight on social media using the hashtag RealCity.
Growing up in the country was fantastic. I mean, wide open spaces, fresh air. It was fantastic. It was a great place for a young chicken to grow up. I was raised by a single mum. We lost Dad when I was very young. Mum doesn't really tell me where he went. I do have a suspicion that he went to go make a name for himself, and I'm gonna follow in his footsteps. You know, I mean, country life's great, of course. It's great. It's a great place to, be brought up, but I feel like there could be more. And the thing with country life is you're just so limited. There's not a whole lot going on here. I mean, we've got one Chinese restaurant and it closes at 5 p.m. Admittedly, we don't like going there because a lot on the menu is chicken related, but still, I would just like to have the option to be up at 3 in the morning and there'd be a Chinese restaurant just down the street from where I am. And there's only one place you can get that, the city and China, but mainly the city. I've actually got a bit of a dream to be an actor. I want a bit of a thespian. I'm gonna tread the boards, as they say. So this is all very exciting for me, working on a film crew. It's a good experience. In 20 years' time, I don't want people to ask, why'd the chicken cross the road? Oh, to get to the other side. I want people to ask, why'd the chicken cross the road? To make a name for himself.
Oi, I'm not getting any reception. What? When it comes to city limits, communication is often troublesome, to say the least. In our next segment, we follow the story of a Melbourne grandmother and her journey from Malta to our beautiful city of Melbourne. Take a look.
Melbourne is a very nice city, the best in the world. When we came to Melbourne from Malta, it was very, very hard because we had to say goodbye for everyone. But for us, it was like a holiday because we were so young, we didn't know what we're gonna find. No, the first time we came here, we seen everything big because back home, everything was small. We didn't have supermarkets like they have here. So when we went to the shop the first time, we was buying everything we find in the trolley because for us was everything new. I find it the world is bigger, but it's more easy to communicate around the world. I've been using internet for the last 10 years, and I know too much on the internet actually for my age. And today is very easy to contact family back home, any country. You can phone, you can send messages in a minute, not like before. It takes a week to receive the letter or send the letter. But to communicate these days is very easy. You make friends, you can do anything you want on the computer.
Hi Mom, kif inti ħillum?
Arra, kif ma morċol illum?
Morċanti bħabi? U ista qiegħda at treasure hunters.
Ma inti dejjem tonfoq?
Ejwa.
My heart always in two places. It will be half of my heart be in Malta and half of my heart will be in Australia. And there is no place better than Australia.
As a Melburnian, I can understand how easy it is to complain about our public transport. And while going home and crawling up into the fetal position and crying after an hour-long train ride may be normal to some, we've gone and made a PSA so that you can do public transport the right way. Be sure to keep up in conversation on social media using our hashtag RealCity.
Fare evading is a gateway crime to other crimes. You know what? Okay, I've held this inside for a long time, but I'm sick of it. Everyone just stares at me and they won't actually offer me a seat. Discrimination. I'm not actually on the picture board for people to watch out for. Like, offer me a seat. That you don't see a unicorn picture. It makes me feel like I'm not a part of this society that we're in. Well, we have the tendency to get close to other people, but they just think it's okay to just stand close to us, even if it's like not a normal thing. And if they smell bad, it's kind of just like, well, I'm a unicorn, I'm an animal, but I smell nicer than you. So I'm fine with headphones. It's more just the playing the music from the phone just from the speaker. I feel like it's a bit of a dick move. Actually, you know what? If there are about 50 seats free on a fucking tram, you don't have to sit next to me. I'm not your friend. Moving if someone needs to get off a tram. Part ways. I think of the Red Sea when I say, excuse me, I'm getting off the tram, but then I realise I'm definitely not Moses. I'm just a unicorn. People of Melbourne, just don't be, especially on public transport.
Welcome back to Real, the program that investigates Melbourne's diverse culture from the perspective of young people. If you've just tuned in, we've been talking about Melbourne city limits. In our next piece, we explore the limits behind forming a relationship with another person.
Oh, thanks, mate.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much.
Man, all this walking has made me so hungry. You guys want to just go get some Chinese food? You want to go? Well, that's perfect. Because in our next segment, we take a look at one restaurant that's been breaking the limits of traditional Chinese food.
大家好，我叫小强，我是蹦蹦 Fry 炸了小吃店的店长。我们的店呢，主要经营的是油炸类的小吃和关东煮。现在桌面上的是轰炸大鱿鱼和爆浆鸡肉丸。这两个同样都是中国比较传统的路边小吃。轰炸大鱿鱼呢是按照传统的台湾做法，加上我们的配料。爆浆鸡肉丸呢是我们店经过考虑当地的饮食文化和我们中国的小吃的传统做法，我们自主创新的一款小吃，在传统中国炸鸡肉丸的做法上，加入了当地人很喜欢吃的 cheese。因为在中国传统的饮食文化和做法里面不会用 cheese 这个材料，在我们突破了中国传统饮食文化制作方法后，我们发现如果想把中国的传统饮食文化能让更多的西方年轻人接受和认可的话，我们需要在食材的选择上和制作的方法上多考虑一下西方人的口味。在这个过程中呢，不断的探索和创新。我相信现在澳洲甚至全世界也有很多年轻的中国人像我们一样，为了弘扬中国的传统饮食文化，不断的努力的创新和突破着。
Welcome back to Real, the program that investigates Melbourne's diverse culture from the perspective of young people. Here in Melbourne, art is limitless. Anything can be considered art and anyone can create it. So take a look at our little celebration of all things art here. And be sure to keep up with conversation on social media using the hashtag RealCity.
Art in Melbourne has no limit. It highlights our city's spirit. It plays to our emotions and challenges daily notions. It does not conform. Art has no norm. Vibrant colours seduce our eyes. Melbourne's creativity will never die. Artists dip brushes into their soul and paint until they feel truly whole. little minds share big ideas, while those with experience craft through the years. A good sketcher knows where to draw the line, but a true artist pushes limits until they shine. Art does not hide ideas away. It puts innovation on full display. Pictures and prints and street art too make the city's art scene a unique pleasure to view. Masterpieces can be created by whoever and be made from whatever, whenever.
The band in our next segment is one of our favourites because, well, they call our city home. After touring the world with their music, they've finally returned and gone on to write this song about coming home. Because sometimes it's what's within our own city limits that we connect with the most. So here are I Am the Riot with Boston Cops. Come to the end of our journey. As far as my limits go, I'm pretty pooped. But so far in the episode, we've seen everything from interesting personalities, good food, and great art. But now, let's take one final look at Melbourne's limitless beauty. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Real, the only show that discusses Melbourne's diverse culture from a young person's perspective. Join us next week where we talk about escapism. I'll see you then.